Hello and welcome to another episode of Observation Reactions, where today, once again, we're not just talking about one trailer, but an entire trailer release event. That's right. Today we're talking about DC FanDome. Now, this is kind of DC's response to the Netflix's to dooms and the various big Disney Plus days and Comic Cons of the world, where they just have been holding on to a bunch of announcements and teasers and first looks and yada yada yada. Pretty much just to get all the DC fans primed and ready for what's coming in the DC universe in the next few months and years. So, of course, everyone who knows us knows that we are massive Marvel shills, and unapologetically so. But we do have other interests.
We're still awaiting that sponsorship.
Yes.
But yeah, just I sent a few emails. You probably saw them. So
yeah, Disney. We are assuming that the check is in the mail. But in the meantime, we do have some other interests, and believe it or not, we actually are interested in a lot of these DC characters and the fortunes of the DCEU. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, some ups, some downs, but it seems like in the past few years they've taken a turn for the better.
It's looking like the DC kind of structure is really turning itself around. We were huge fans of the Suicide Squad from James Gunn.
Yes,
that was excellent.
Absolutely.
And I think it's my prediction is that it's going to be less of a DCEU and more of just DC movies. Going back to kind of the basic what they used to do. Like, you had stuff like The Dark Knight and kind of standalone movies, and Joker, that did really really well. That was not part of the cinematic universe. That was just its own thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what's going to be most successful.
Absolutely. Every movie post the DCEU low point that was Justice League, every movie after that has really thrived in big part, I think, because they've been more disconnected from what DC was trying to do previously, which was emulate the MCU level interconnectedness. That clearly wasn't working. The Snyderverse, I'll be kind and say ran out of steam. Yeah. In my opinion, it really wasn't that great to begin with, and it just got worse.
They also kind of rushed into it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, for me, Man of Steel was already a very shaky start, and obviously Batman v Superman was a big dip, and Justice League was just hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
But ever since then, Aquaman was a huge hit. I actually didn't love Aquaman, but I can see the appeal of it. Shazam, which I loved Shazam when that came out.
Really fun.
Of course, you have Wonder Woman 1 and 2, which were both huge hits. And I know, controversial opinion, I liked the second one more than the first one. But I know I'm not alone in that.
Burn him at the stake.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's true. I thought 1984 was better than the first Wonder Woman. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, that was pretty good. I saw that in the theater, liked it. Of course, Zack Snyder came back to restore his true vision of Justice League in his HBO Max cut, which I haven't seen, but I heard that was a big improvement over the theatrical cut. And as you said, we just got The Suicide Squad, which was fantastic, one of the best movies of the summer. So the DCU it seems like, has really begun to course correct. And from what we're about to get here, I think we're about to see a huge course correction with a lot of the projects that they have upcoming. So what we're going to do is we have some of our top 5 trailers from the FanDome in no particular order.
Well, actually, in typical observation conversations, what's the word?
Fashion?
I don't know. Fashion, yes. In typical OC fashion, we have a odd number of entries on our list, and to Doom it was the top 11 trailers. Now it's the top 6 plus we'll do 3
top
trailers.
6 plus 3. So it's
plus
a top 9.
We'll do 3 in a lightning round, so the top 9 trailers.
Yes. Yeah, so how we're going to do this is we have some of our 5 most anticipated trailers in no particular order. Then we're going to do a lightning round of 3 other things that we're not really sure what to make of, but we just want to touch on them. And then we're going to end with the big one, the one you're all here to see, I'm sure, the official trailer for the Batman. Yeah. That's going to be really, really big. So, yeah, Reid, any thoughts before we jump in?
Um, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see kind of the direction they're going. Um, I hope they've learned from the success of Suicide Squad and the popularity of the Snyder Cut, that
Hmm.
kind of independent directors giving them freedom of choice and artistic licenses really helps and really
Absolutely.
leads to better products. So hopefully that's what we'll see in these trailers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, I mean, you may not even have known that some of these things were coming out. So you might
Yeah,
even be
I don't
surprised
even
by.
know what's on our list. I'm like
Yeah, yeah.
full
So you
blind.
might be surprised by some of these. Yeah, very exciting, big day. Let's jump into it. Our very first trailer, as you can see, is the official first look for Black Adam. Now, have you heard about this one? This is Dwayne Johnson
Yeah,
coming into the DCU.
yeah. Ever since Shazam, people have
Hmm.
really wanted him as Black Adam. I saw so many like fan kind of art renderings and Photoshop stuff. Um, and it seems like they listened, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
think we should see him in action.
yeah, I mean, certainly judging based off of what Dwayne Johnson himself has been saying on Twitter and other places, he's very excited for the world to see this movie. So let's see what we've got in store. This is going to be really interesting.
I've never seen the likes of it before. Having done James Bond for 10 years, 4 films, nothing compares to this.
I play Hawkman.
Cyclone.
Atom Smasher.
Dr. Fate. Leading the whole charge is Dwayne Johnson.
He's more brutal, uncompromising, fueled by the depths of his pain. He's Black Adam.
Black Adam.
It's an interesting cast of
Oh yeah.
what I thought were heroes, but I know Black Adam is a
Hey,
villain,
DC
so-
FanDome, and hello to everyone watching around the world. I am so excited right now to be here and to talk to you about the man in black himself, Black Adam. Now, as you guys know, this character, this film, this universe has been a gigantic passion project of mine for a very long time. And I have worked so hard, worked these hands, these calluses, my fingers to the bone on this project, because it's the kind of project that I know comes along once in a lifetime. And the truth is, I was born to play Black Adam. Now, we've just started the post-production process, which is so exciting. And the film has, without question, some of the biggest action sequences I have ever been a part of. And I am so proud and excited
This
of
is
our
coming
incredible
from the
team
guy who was
who are
part
working
of
away to
Fast
create
and Furious
breathtaking,
for
holy shit
several movies.
scenes that
Yeah.
I know you're really going to love. Now, even though we're still working away, this is DC FanDome. So I felt like I had to bring you guys just a little something special. Now, you know me, guys, and you know, I always like to say that you, the audience, the people, you guys are my #1 boss. So I got together with my director, Jalma Colette Serra, and we put together a little glimpse of one of the opening scenes of the movie when Black Adam is first revealed. Now, what you're gonna see here is why the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. I hope you enjoy this very first look at the man in black himself, Black Adam.
Fatality. Okay.
It's a cool scene. I will say though, that demonstration of powers isn't that
It's not that crazy.
no, because they're the exact same powers that Shazam has. You know,
Yeah.
he's super fast, resistant to bullets, and can create electricity. He just never used it to burn someone alive to
Yeah.
the bone.
Yeah.
To charred bone, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good first look, and that really is all it is. That's all you can say about it. It's a first look. I think that perhaps more than anything, seeing some of these renderings is really cool. Just to see kind of what they have in mind.
Yeah, the concept art.
And then, of course, you've got Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, what can you say other than it's crazy to see a former James Bond actor in either of these superhero cinematic universes. And Pierce Brosnan, he's at the level now where, I mean, he doesn't have to do any of these. So if he's choosing to be in this, it's, he must believe in it. So
or he's getting paid a lot of money.
Well, two things can be true.
Yeah. So we have Hawkman,
Cyclone, Atom Smasher,
and Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I believe they are the Justice Society of America, who Black Adam is going to be fighting in this movie.
Okay. Yeah, because we know. So is Shazam not in this movie? Like, that's my question. Because he's the main villain of Shazam.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the idea is, if anything, because obviously when you have a star like Dwayne Johnson, this is definitely going to be his movie. And I think that maybe, as we'll see in a couple trailers from now, there's a chance he might pop up in Shazam 2, which I know is also filming around now. But I would be surprised if he showed up in this outside of maybe a post-credit scene. But yeah, I mean, it's, we really didn't get a ton from this other than this, that opening bit with the concept footage and the cast and then this first clip. But I'm definitely intrigued. It's, really the main reason is just because you have a star like Dwayne Johnson, who is quite literally the biggest movie star in the world at this moment in time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he has been so effusive in his praise for Black Adam, how excited he is to play this character, how excited he is about this movie. So after how much someone like him has built it up, someone who's obviously been in so many blockbusters across so many different franchises, it really does make you wonder, well, this has clearly made an impression. So that, and I mean, yes, I mean, he is just a very good marketer. And so, this is a movie he's trying to sell. But honestly, I've never heard him spoke this highly about a Fast and the Furious movie, about San Andreas, or any other thing that he's been in. I mean, this has really been next level. So, and another thing that he's really been outspoken about is he wants Black Adam to fight Superman at some point. Because, as you heard, his whole thing is Black Adam is going to completely reshuffle the deck of power levels in the DC universe. And he wants there to be a showdown between him and Henry Cavill Superman. Will that happen? It's impossible to say because it's not really clear what role Henry Cavill's going to have in the DCU going forward, but I hope it does happen. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I do know there was I don't remember what movie it was, but there was one of the DC animated movies, where Shazam and Superman actually team up to try to take down Black Adam.
Yeah.
So it's a very real possibility, and it does lead to a lot of potential.
Yeah. And we did see Superman appear in the post-credit scene for the first Shazam.
Yeah,
so
we did.
It's possible.
So it's a good setup.
Yeah. And really, I would just love to see that matchup. Not just Black Adam and Superman, but Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam and Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah.
That would be something else. But yeah, good first look, but it's really just that, a first look. We got a tiny bit of new footage, but other than that, it's mainly just the star appeal of the cast and The Rock himself. So excited, and we'll see. This is July 2022. So, all right. So moving on to a little behind the scenes thing from the next Aquaman movie, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Um, yeah, I mean, coming after the first movie, I don't really know what to expect from a sequel. As I mentioned at the top, I wasn't really crazy about the first movie, but I mean, hey, a sequel is an opportunity to improve and kind of smooth over some of the rough edges from the first one, particularly on the writing front.
Yeah.
So let's see. Jason Momoa arriving in a car from the 1920s.
FanDome. I apologize for the 4-year
Gray
wait.
hair.
Oh my gosh, been here since 2017. But I'm very proud of the sequel because it's tackling a lot of issues environmentally. The stakes are higher, and I'm just excited because I had a big part in my boy James, Check it out. I'm excited for you to see it. The tides are changing. It's important. The tides are changing.
Like the comic book, the world of Aquaman is so big and so rich.
It's epic, it's huge, it's colorful. The world is at stake.
I'm super excited to be back making the sequel. I have so much invested into it. I love this character. I love what it represents. There's nothing that I've ever been a part of that's like this.
People are going to be in for a treat. When Aquaman 2 comes out, they're going to get a movie that's more mature, but yet still retain its fun, to give the audience something different, something new that they haven't seen before.
The success of that movie as the biggest DC movie of all time shows what James Wan and his team were able to do. And in this second film, we have turned the dials up to 11. It has the action, the fun, the heart.
Action! Superheroes and supervillains have entertained generations of fans across the globe.
Good, you got it? We put that in the movie?
To play around with this cast again is quite a trip. We're having a blast. This movie's a lot of fun.
I think fans are going to be very happy. And I think James is really excited to go all out.
This is an exciting scene. We better get to a little bit of action.
It's going to be a fun adventure, like it was the first time. Just better.
We see that Black Manta is still seeking his vengeance to try and kill Aquaman. That's gonna be something that's exciting for the audience, something for them to be swept up into the world of Aquaman again.
About to kick some ass.
It's a globe-trotting story. We visit so many different worlds. This movie isn't afraid to embrace its fantasy and go on this magical journey. I think it's going to be really awesome.
Wow. Okay.
So definitely not as much to look at there. Less footage, but.
But then again, I mean, I know, in terms of footage, no, but I mean, in terms of some of these stills that we get, I mean.
Yeah, my concern is that, I just hope that, those are actually incorporated into the movie.
Yeah.
Because it could just be, random concept art drawn up while they were still, working on the script.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean, of course, it all comes down to whether they can translate this into stuff that we're actually seeing on screen. But I mean, my goodness, I mean, I'm watching this, and they mentioned it in this, behind the scenes that they're really going heavier into the fantasy elements in this one. And if art like this is to be believed, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm looking at the next Aquaman movie or like the Avatar sequel. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's like we really are visiting a different world here. So yeah, that was, I think, the thing I liked the most from this was just seeing some of that concept art. Of course, Jason Momoa, what can you say? I mean, the guy is just one of the absolute most likable stars in Hollywood at the moment. I mean, just like we were saying with
The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock, I mean, he just has so much charisma. And yeah, I mean, he was certainly one of, if not the strongest part of that first movie. And it's going to be great to have him in that character again in the sequel. You know, my big gripe with the first Aquaman was just that, you know, I mean, it wasn't for lack of ambition. That movie was very, very ambitious. And I can see why, as a big blockbuster coming out around the holidays, it made a ton of money. But when I was watching it, I didn't see it in a theater. I just watched it at home after it had been out for a while. You know, the writing, I think, really kind of let it down a little bit. You know, the story wasn't super compelling, you know, and it just, I remember just being kind of underwhelming in that way.
Didn't it like try to cover multiple storylines at the same time? Like it tried to do a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think you could definitely say it was trying to do a little bit too much. I mean, really, the main thing was Aquaman's conflict with Ocean Master and just him becoming the next king of Atlantis, and he has one big fight with Black Manta, who I'm glad he's coming back, because that was I think probably the best scene of the movie was when Aquaman was fighting Black Manta in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember it being a very big CGI spectacle. Obviously, Atlantis is 100% CGI. All of the ocean creatures are CGI. I mean, it's just very, very, very CGI heavy. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they're doing more physical environments outside of the water. I mean, you had that desert scene. You have, it's like this. I guess this is another underwater setting, but there was a jungle setting that showed us earlier. So
yeah, like with the giant grasshoppers.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, really, really, really intriguing. Really intriguing. These things, I don't know what this is.
Like robots, or are those?
Yeah, they seem like they might be like robots.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm guessing all of these otherworldly locations must be part of this lost kingdom in question. Which is
that the title infuriates me so much because he lives in Atlantis, but then he's searching for the lost kingdom, and you would think the lost kingdom of Atlantis is usually how that phrase is finished.
Yeah. Well, I think it may be a double meaning. It's referring to Atlantis plus this other place that we're just going to now discover.
Yeah, well, so it's definitely referring to somewhere else because he's from Atlantis. It's not lost.
Right. Yeah. Maybe it would be better if it was Aquaman and the Lost Kingdoms. Maybe if they made it plural, that would have made it better.
Yeah, or if like he loses Atlantis to some other power.
Yeah. Or just Ocean Master comes back because he's still out there. Actually, I really liked Patrick Wilson as Orm. I thought he was good, so I'm excited to see him again. But yeah, I mean, as you said, no real footage here, but it's cool to see all the cast.
Was that Amber Heard?
Yes, it was. Yeah, this is Amber Heard. Yep. Amber Heard and her very floaty hair.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what these motion capture things on her head are for, so they can add the very floaty hair in post. Yeah. One thing I do feel pretty confident saying Johnny Depp will not be making an appearance in this movie. That is
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I do not think the two of them would get along on set. But yeah, let's in terms of the cast here. So Momoa is coming back, Amber Heard is coming back, Willem Dafoe is coming back, Patrick Wilson's coming back. Dolph Lundgren, I don't remember if he was in the first one. Abdul Mateen's coming back. This is the one that grabs me. Tamora Morrison, Boba Fett is going to be in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, so that's pretty cool. It'll be cool to see him again.
Disney, did you make another purchase that you didn't tell us about?
Yeah, you just
this is the new crossover.
Yeah, Boba Fett's on loan to Warner Brothers, so he can be in this. Randall Park, who is just a normal scientist guy who discovered Atlantis for himself at the end of the last movie, so he's going to be a problem. He's probably going to expose them.
Love Randall Park.
So December 2022, so over a year away. But yeah, cool to see. I can't say I'm the most excited for this one, but I mean, I definitely have hope for it. I think that they are going bigger and smarter than the first one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe there's still hope yet for Aquaman. I mean, his box office chances aren't in question, but just in terms of making a satisfying story. Also, why is Jason Momoa arriving in a car from 1921?
He's just
I'm
cool,
really,
okay? He's just
yeah,
a cool dude.
Yeah, he's just awesome, I guess.
I'm surprised it's red legal though. Like,
Hmm.
does that thing have blinkers? Like, does
Well,
it have
I mean,
turn signals?
and even if it isn't road legal, do you want to be the cop that pulls over Jason Momoa on his way to film Aquaman 2
Fuck yeah, that's a great story to tell.
in his baller
Yo, Jimmy, guess who I pulled over today?
in this awesome Rolls Royce from the 20s. So, I mean, I think he's got to let him go at that point.
Yeah.
Well, get his autograph first.
Yeah.
Moving on to not a movie, but a streaming series, Peacemaker on HBO Max. As we've already mentioned, we were big fans of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and this is kind of a follow-up of sorts to that movie because this is a James Gunn partly directed and entirely produced series, featuring one of the main members of that Suicide Squad, the absolute Captain America douchebag that is Peacemaker. He survived, and he's going on his own adventures now. So let's see what's happening in Peacemaker's world.
You cool?
What does that mean?
Truth is, I'm supposed to be in prison.
For what?
Superhero stuff.
What superhero are you?
Peacemaker.
Get out of here! There's no superhero called Peacemaker!
And I'm famous.
You're a born killer with expertise in every weapon of the human kind. Giving you the chance to stay out of prison and work for me.
Kill people.
Bad people.
This is hardcore. Be a handler in the field. John Economist, Tech and Tactics. And this is our new recruit, Dave Ayo.
You don't have to shoot people after you kill them.
Right.
Who's the guy that's peeking out behind the trash can?
Vigilantes, trying to be helpful.
Our first target is Senator Roland Goff. Goff may be traveling with his family.
Are you sure those two kids came out of those parents? That's an attractive couple. That one looks like it came out of them. The other one looks like a butt baby.
A butt baby.
Yeah, my older brother told me there's two types of babies. One that comes out normal, and then butt babies. Worse in every way. They come out of a woman's butt. Well, I believed it. That was a butt baby until I was like 14.
That explains a lot. There's something about him that's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't mind sperm. All I'm doing is a boy like you.
Well, that means like a maniac.
No! That's because we're born killers. What separates us from other killers is we only kill bad people. Usually. Unless there's a mistake. You use being a jerk as a way to push people away.
You suck at PowerPoint.
But if you just drop that, people actually might like you. Yeah!
Oh my god. He's hugging me. He's hugging me. Dad, grab my phone. I don't want to move. Dad?
I really like that take on superheroes, where you have like just a bunch of dudes that like are kind of psychopathic. They just want to kill people.
Yeah.
And like the only moral way to do that is to become vigilante superheroes that just kill bad guys.
Right. Yeah. Do you
sometimes.
know what this?
As long as there's sometimes.
Yeah, as long as the paperwork is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, like wiping out the entire village of resistance fighters, but.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what this? I was thinking this the whole time throughout this trailer. this feels so much like you remember Deadpool 2 X Force?
Yes.
This feels like X
Yeah.
Force the series. This feels straight out of that scene from Deadpool 2. And yeah, I mean, what can I say other than it looks like exactly what I expected it to look like. I mean, you've got John Cena back as Peacemaker, and yeah, he's now been recruited into this Task Force XB to deal with, as you said, killing bad guys and just bad guys, just so long as the paperwork is correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, you also have, let's see here. So you have, I forget the character's name, but this lady, she's back from Waller's team, and this guy. They were from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, did they get fired, or is this a side hustle?
Yeah, well, the joke that they said in the Suicide Squad mid-credit scene is that they're definitely being punished by Waller by sticking them with dealing with Peacemaker, because remember, they're the ones that knocked her out in the movie. So yeah, so this is Waller getting back at them.
So Waller still has tabs on him, but it's just
do
whatever the fuck this is.
Exactly. Yeah, she's essentially using. Yeah, she's essentially using Peacemaker to kind of take out the dirty laundry, so to speak. And it's two birds with one stone, because she gets to use Peacemaker to do that, and also punish these two for knocking her out in the Suicide Squad. Because it's definitely a very kind of odd. Not odd couple, but odd threesome pairing, because the two of them hate Peacemaker, but they've got to deal with him. Plus these new guys, you know, the kind of like what I was saying, the X Force.
Yeah.
You've got this guy, and also there's
one other superhero, and then a trainee.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I don't know if he's with us or not.
Whoa! Wait, go back to him. I'm wondering. That's not TDK, is it?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like Nathan Fillion, but I mean, the suit's similar.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know. The shoulder pads look similar, but
yeah, the suit definitely looks similar. I mean, it could be. Kind of hard to tell. But... Yeah, and every dream come true. He gets a hug from a bald eagle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, looks interesting. I'll check it out when it comes out. You know, the thing that gives me the most hope about it is, you know, James Gunn really was intimately involved in putting this together. So if he's involved, then I'm interested. And you know, I mean, John Cena is John Cena. I mean, you know, say what you will, you can't doubt his comedic timing. You know, he is definitely.
He's a great comedic actor, not so much a serious actor.
Yeah.
I didn't see F9 personally, but from the trailer, that him playing Dom's brother looked really dumb.
Yes.
But him playing Peacemaker. But him playing Peacemaker, like, he was really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, you know, I mean, that scene at the end, he did do a really good job with that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit, but he definitely knows how to do this character justice.
Oh yeah, I mean I think it's very much to his credit that he's a character who was both funny and absolutely loathsome, and yet I wasn't at all bummed out when he survived.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was like, even though he really makes it, it's really hard to like Peacemaker. You want to see more of Peacemaker just because he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested in it. I will check this out in January.
Hello, my name is Zachary Levi. You should have a little tag. And I play Shazam. We all established something very special in the first movie, and in Shazam: Fury of the Gods, we expand on that.
Now they have balanced their life with being superheroes.
This is where you hang out with your superhero friends, isn't it?
These goddesses come to our world. Our incredible new villains, Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. She's kick-ass as Calypso.
We have mythological creatures,
Minotaurs, harpies, dragons. When I talk about upgrades, we got an upgrade, a huge upgrade in the suit. Bigger action sequences, bigger set pieces.
We go from Athens to Philadelphia. We go from the Rock of Eternity and the Library of Eternity to the Realm of the Gods. So we get to go to environments that we never explored in the first film.
We have it all.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Takes the excitement and the action to a whole new level.
It's going to be more of a spectacle.
This fun all around. You're in store for a treat, y'all.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, like I said, I really loved that first Shazam movie. It was one of my favorite movies of 2019. And yeah, I mean, it was so charming. It had so much heart. Zachary Levi was fantastic. Yeah, I really, really liked the first Shazam. And it looks like it's just going to be Shazam, but bigger. And, you know, we're going to have these Greek gods now that are coming in as antagonists with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, which is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, you know, what I'm most looking forward to is, and you see it a little bit here, I'll go back to it. Yeah. Probably one of my, if not my absolute favorite moment, in fact, definitely my favorite moment from the first Shazam movie was the reveal of the Shazam family. I loved that reveal, and watching them work together in the final battle was so much fun. And yeah, now they're going to be in throughout the whole movie, which is really exciting. So that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it'll be a nice kind of continuation of where that left off, because we never got to see them and see that kind of dynamic where how they kind of play off of each other as superheroes. But
well, we did a bit at the end.
Yeah, but like not for a full movie. You know, there wasn't a character arc surrounding
exactly
this family dynamic.
Yeah, so that's I'm looking forward to getting more of that throughout the whole movie. And also, I just want to mention this guy for a moment, David F. Sandberg, because, you know, we've talked about this before, but this guy has a really cool story. He got started directing horror shorts on YouTube. He's a fellow YouTuber, and now he's doing these massive blockbusters. And he still does YouTube. And, you know, it's just, you know, it gives hope. Yeah, I mean, he didn't go directly. He also made some horror movies, some low-budget horror movies, and then from there he did Shazam. Yeah, I mean, it just gives some hope to aspiring YouTubers and just general small-time content makers like us, because I mean, he made it. Now he's doing this awesome stuff. You know, I know you in particular want to work in movies, so. Yeah, you might be the next David F. Sandberg. So, yeah, you know, I mean, we have to give him some credit because he made definitely the best Annabelle movie, which is not easy to do. You know, he made Annabelle Creation, which I think is like the only one that has gotten a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So, good for him. It seems like he has the magic touch. No pun intended. Well, some pun intended. But yeah. This is gonna be awesome. My only gripe about it is, honestly, I just wish it wasn't coming out so far from now. 2023. I mean, 4 years after the first movie. I mean, I almost don't want to see anything when it's still so far out. You know, you know, it feels kind of immaterial when it's not just 1 year away, but over almost 2 years away.
And I was actually surprised that this got announced, because I was 100% expecting Shazam 2 to deal with Black Adam. And you'd have like Shazam, Black Adam, Shazam 2.
Yeah.
and that's where the conflict is. But instead, it's going to be like Shazam 3, where they deal with that, maybe.
Yeah, which I mean, honestly, I mean, because it is so far out, there is a chance that maybe Black Adam will show up in Philadelphia at the end of his movie, and maybe he could be in this. We're just not seeing that yet. But
I mean, yeah, it's possible, but that seems like a too large of a scope, because I already have a solid plan for this movie.
Yeah, because then Shazam would have to fight Black Adam and Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. So he's got to fight like 3 god level characters, which is going to be, I love Shazam, but I think that might be a little bit too much even for Shazam. But I mean, hey, it's possible. I mean, the two of them, they have to interact at some point. I mean, it just, they can't not interact at some point. So
unless, of course, Warner Brothers is just trying to pull off the biggest blue balls in cinematic history.
Yeah, I guess so.
In which case, like, they'll just never meet.
I hope that doesn't happen. But even though once again, with a lot of these behind the scenes things, we really didn't get anything in terms of footage. Just seeing the behind the scenes stuff is cool, and the cast and some of the sets. And yeah, I mean, I was already very excited for this, and this certainly does not diminish that at all. So, big movie, The Flash. This is just a teaser, but apparently the scope of this movie is something else. So, let's check this out.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere you want, right? Any timeline, any universe.
Oh, that's cool.
Why do you want to stay?
That one.
Fight to save this one. You change the future, and you change the past.
Are you in?
Oh man.
So it's like a Flash into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Flash into the Spider-Verse, Back to the Future type thing. And so, yeah, I mean, we have to talk about it because he's literally in the voiceover. I mean, Michael Keaton is back as Batman. I mean, that's crazy. I mean,
weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all this talk about previous Spider-Man returning in No Way Home. Let's talk about previous Batman returning in The Flash.
Is this just DC trying to jump on that, multiverse bandwagon?
I mean, I don't think so, because this movie and this this plot was outlined before we ever got anything about the No Way Home plans. Now maybe they were inspired by Into the Spider-Verse. That's possible, but I think
that I'm sorry, that suit is so cool.
Oh yeah,
I love the look of that.
Easily the best Flash look we've gotten on the big screen.
And then didn't in the Justice League, wasn't his lightning blue in that?
I think so.
A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, so now they changed it to.
Yeah, I don't remember if they changed it in the Snyder cut to like yellow lightning, but
maybe
definitely looks better.
Yeah, definitely made it a more traditional yellow. But so if I understand correctly, the idea for this movie, The Flash, is to act as essentially a kind of reset for the entire DCU. It's a time travel story where the Flash is going back in time to do something. I don't recall the exact synopsis, but he's going back in time and visiting these alternate timelines, including meeting with these other versions of himself. And Supergirl. That's Supergirl in the background there.
Oh, I thought that was another Flash.
No, yeah, no, that actually has been announced. I don't remember this actress's name, but she is playing Supergirl. And yeah, so he's going into these alternate timelines, and it's essentially an adaptation of the Flashpoint comic storyline, where it's essentially that. He's trying to get back to his proper timeline. But it's supposed to act as kind of a reset for the entire DCU, and that the DCU will be reset into this, post-Flash timeline going forward. They're going to wipe out the Snyderverse and start fresh, which I think is a very good idea.
It's yes and no. I think it's a good idea to reset and try again with the universe, but having this movie doesn't really reset the previous ones or ignore the previous ones, because you're still acknowledging it. You're just creating an excuse for all the characters to be different in the next movie.
Yeah.
The only true way to kind of sever the tie is be this is just straight up a different movie, different universe. You don't need a project that specifically crosses them over.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I think that is what the studio has said they want to do, and we should acknowledge that you are right. It isn't a total clean break, because it's not just Keaton coming back, but also Ben Affleck's Batman is going to appear in this as well. So we're getting multiple Flashes, multiple Batmen. They're going all out with this. This really does seem like it could be the DCU's response to a Spider-Man No Way Home style event.
That's definitely what it feels like.
Yeah, and of course we see the old the Keaton Batmobile here. That's awesome.
Yeah, the black and red.
Yeah, so whew, I mean, I'm hyped, because you want to talk about storytelling ambition. I never thought we would see Keaton's Batman again, but I'm very glad we are, because people will always have the debate: who was the best Batman? Was it Adam West? Was it Michael Keaton? Was it Christian Bale? Ben Affleck? And I personally, I don't even know how to answer that, because they all certainly, they were all very much products of their times, and they all did certain things very well. Obviously Adam West was a very comedic.
Yeah, I would say definitely not Adam West, but
yeah, well but that's just a different Batman.
Yeah,
he was the Batman of the the kooky comedic '60s. Obviously Christian Bale was very much. That was Christopher Nolan's. That was his brainchild. That was him putting his stylistic mark on Batman. He did a great job. And Ben Affleck, Christian Bale's was very serious and a little bit dour, and Ben Affleck was just angry and violent. And Keaton was kind of suave and cool. He was like a James Bond if he became Batman.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited to see him again. And yeah, it's just the ambition of the movie is very impressive to me. And I should note, speaking of ambition, another very ambitious part of this movie is not just what's happening on screen, but also the release date. Because I believe, as it's scheduled now, this movie is set up to compete directly in November 2022 with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So, I think that's DC saying, we have so much confidence in this being a hit that we're willing to go up head to head with Marvel. Now, of course, that's still over a year away, so it could move, but it's there now, and I think that's got to show some confidence if you're ready to go head to head with Marvel like that.
Shows some confidence. I think that also shows a lot of hubris, because Black Panther was one of the most successful movies of all time. It instantly became a cultural icon.
Yes.
And everyone fell in love with Michael B. Jordan on the screen. Because oh my God, we love Killmonger. He's our favorite villain. So hot. Agreed.
All those things. Yeah.
And now we're mourning the death of Chadwick Boseman, and it's saying that Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger will probably return for the second one. Maybe even take up the mantle of the new Black Panther.
Well, he can. He's dead. How's he gonna come back?
I mean, they can write something. Like always,
Yes.
yeah. We see him with like the knife in his chest, but we don't see him get like buried or anything.
I guess. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be, people are going to flock to that movie. It's going to be really, really big still.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, do you know who I hope? And obviously, nothing has been announced in terms of who will take up the mantle. As you said, obviously, Chadwick Boseman's death last year was so unexpected and so sudden and so tragic.
Yeah.
It's one of the very, very few celebrity deaths in my life that I can recall actually people calling me to talk about Chadwick Boseman passing away. Like, that's something that really I can't remember really almost ever happening before in my life, when family members and friends are calling me to talk about, the passing of a celebrity.
I mean, I think that speaks to how kind of influential he was, yeah. And like his roles were. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, yeah, he
was an icon.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, he was such a fantastic actor, such a fantastic talent, and he made this beloved character of Black Panther his own, and did such a great job in Black Panther, and obviously, playing other icons like Jackie Robinson and what was it, James Brown, and I mean, he was just so fantastic, and so it was just such a blindside when he passed away, and there's been a lot of speculation, obviously, about who would take over the mantle, who could take over the mantle. Maybe it could be Killmonger. Me personally, I would love Lupita Nyong'o. I'd like to see her become Black Panther.
That would be cool.
Nakia, I think is her character's name. Yeah, I think she is so fantastic. I think she has an Oscar. Yeah, I think she's an Oscar winner. And yeah, I think she was tremendous in Black Panther, and I just want to see a lot more of that character, because she's the perfect intersection of capable and smart, and also just an ally of T'Challa. So it wouldn't be a huge stretch to see her then take over the mantle herself.
Yeah.
But so
plus,
yeah, so
like, female superhero.
Yeah,
like
I mean, honestly,
we need
yeah.
more.
So yeah. So I personally, I would love to see Lupita Nyong'o become Black Panther. But if Killmonger comes back, really just any excuse to bring Killmonger back, I won't complain. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's I think perhaps a combination of confidence and a little bit of hubris. But either way, this movie is going to be. I think it's looking really promising. It's sounding.
I think it's
really
going to be
promising.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, so far, I mean, you look at what we're looking forward to in 2022. Everything we've talked about, pretty much, except for Shazam. You've got Black Adam coming next summer. Aquaman coming next Christmas, Peacemaker coming in January, this coming in November. I mean, I think the DCU really is. We've seen the signs of the ship being righted slowly in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. And I think this really is the year that the whole thing gets reset, and we're going to get, for the first time, a string of unbroken hits. So yeah, I'm excited. Another thing that should be said is that this is going to be a very ambitious year for DCU overall, because they're putting out 1, 2, 3, 4 movies, as many as Marvel, which is a lot going for a cinematic universe that up until now, the past 2 years, they've put out 1 movie a year. So, yeah, it's going to be a big jump, but I am excited. So, well done, The Flash. So those are 5 of our most anticipated things coming out of DC FanDome. The next 3 we're just going to do a lightning round, because we're not really sure what to make of them, but we did want to talk about them. So let's start with a game, actually, a video game coming out by Rocksteady Studios, I believe. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. After this ad, of course.
Yeah.
All of you are the worst
worst of the worst. Still, you're good at what you do, even if what you do is far from good. Welcome to Task Force X.
Let me take a look at you. A musclehead, a nut job, something that offends my eyes, and a homeless person. You're perfect.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
It's got one-way ticket written all over it.
Oh, what the hell have you sent us into? It's a bloody war zone out here. Eyes up, people.
Congratulations, Task Force X. You're the first asset to make it for Trumbull alive.
I was just about to do that.
Task Force X. Your new mission is to kill the Justice League.
Take the hand that taking on the Justice League is the worst idea you've ever heard.
I kind of zoned out.
What did you think would happen? You crawl out of your cells, swoop in, save the day?
Which superheroes did you say you were?
Okay, remember, your head is ticking. He's not gonna make it.
Waller, the penguin is in flight. Repeat, the penguin is in flight.
Then let's clip his wings.
Oh my god! He's gotten off!
Hitting him again.
He's right out the door. Somebody stop him.
Did that get him?
No, it very much did not get him. Waller, blow up his head.
All right, so a Suicide Squad game made by the same studio that did the Batman Arkham games. Intriguing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because this feels like a third iteration of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know, also ignoring, you know, all of the animated versions we've gotten.
Yeah.
So that part's a little jarring. Maybe if it was like the same people as the most recent one, or the same ones from the original, but the fact that it's like a different crew this time is a little strange for me.
Yeah, it's kind of a mashup of the last two Suicide Squads we've gotten on screen. Because of course you've got Harley and King Shark from the most recent one. They also have Deadshot and Captain Boomerang from the first one. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mashup from the recent ones we've seen. But yeah, I mean, intriguing. It's the kind of game I could see myself playing. I don't know if I would jump at it for the $60 release price, but eventually, sure. I mean, I never played any of the Batman Arkham games, but I've heard they're excellent. And yeah, if this is the same studio, the trailer certainly gets me intrigued. And yeah, I mean, just the idea of the Suicide Squad, who are obviously massively outmatched by the entire Justice League. You know, how the hell are they going to pull that off?
It seems like a very fun concept for a video game, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, intriguing. But we'll see. You know, best case scenario, it'll be on the same level as the Batman Arkham games. Worst case scenario, it'll be on the level of the Marvel's Avengers game from last year.
Yeah.
We don't want that. So.
All right, next one.
So we have a short teaser for the animated movie, The DC League of Super Pets. I do not know why they're making a DC League of Super Pets movie, but Let's see this.
League of Super Pets. I love it. Perfect. Hey. Pets. Cool. You ever heard of a league with one dude in it? I haven't. Well, they say I'm in a league of my own. Oh, you're in the league of your own, all right? Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody as messed up as you.
Next summer, Dwayne Johnson as Crypto. Kevin Hart as Ace. How much did you have to drink?
Wow. Another movie that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it's so strange, isn't it, that he's going to be in two big DC things in 2022? Isn't that a little confusing? But yeah, I really don't know why. Why?
We don't.
Why
We
do
don't.
this?
I mean, there's nothing here. Like, it's just a teaser. I mean, it's definitely a kids movie. That's pretty obvious based on the marketing. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, this just seems like a DC branded, what's it called? The Secret Life of Pets.
yeah,
You know about those movies? Yeah, I think that's just what it is. And you have Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart teaming up again. They've, obviously done a bunch of movies together, Ride Along, a bunch of stuff. But I just don't understand the point of any of this, other than to just to do it.
honestly,
I mean,
it's because like kids animated movies make a buttload of money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's really all the reason we're talking about it, is to just say why do that? I mean, again, it's really confusing because Dwayne Johnson's already doing Black Adam, so why is he doing Black Adam and this in the same year?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Obviously, maybe it'll come out and be good, but I doubt it. This just seems pointless.
Yeah.
Just go. I mean, I haven't seen them, but I imagine The Secret Life of Pets is better than this, and that also has Kevin Hart in it. So yeah, just go watch that.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing to say. Just move on.
So this is a trailer for a movie, I think, or is it a series? I don't know. I've already seen this one, and I'm genuinely not sure what it is. But let me see what you think.
What's going on?
Annabelle says there's a stunt happening in the square. Something to do with Superman. I need this for my site. Bathroom break. 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
What?
Oh, it's a CW series. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a new CW series. The only reason that I really want to talk about this is because it's from Anna DuVernay, who is huge. She's very widely regarded, as you can see, Oscar nominee, Emmy winner. So if she's behind this, like, that's about the last person I would have expected to be behind a new CW series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. So
we get so little from this. My only impression is that this is like kind of a teen drama show about this girl who is obsessed with superheroes and probably starts out as like trying to journal them,
Hmm.
and also deals with, I don't know, asthma. I don't know why she passed out, but some
Yeah.
like physical condition.
Yeah, whatever
And
she
then-
was looking at was just so awesome that she just fainted.
Yeah, and then she gets powers and has to deal with being a superhero, and it's just like a teen drama, but
Yeah.
like high school superheroes.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, I'll just read
Like
this here.
Sky High, but worse.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely answer. But just to read this, it says here Naomi follows the journey of a cool, confident, comic book loving teenager as she pursues her hidden destiny. As Naomi journeys to the heights of the multiverse in search of answers, what she discovers will challenge everything we believe about our heroes. Yeah, it sounds like pretty much what you were describing. Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
That seems like a really big scope for a CW show.
Yeah, and considering it is a CW show, I'm sure they'll botch it. But,
Yeah.
Even with Anna DiVerni.
This high schooler discovers she has powers and sets out to discover the meaning of life.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, I saw this and I really wasn't even sure what it was. So that's Naomi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main trailer for the Batman. Oh, I'm so excited. Definitely one of my most anticipated movies of next year. Yeah, let's check this out. The Riddler is back.
Fear is a tool. When that light hits the sky, it's not just a goal. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you. Lord to God! This is about a game. And prisoners to match.
I can take care of myself.
This continues. It won't be long before you've nothing less. I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa! Take it easy, sweetheart. They say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you in there?
I'm vengeance. What's black and blue and can always turn.
Oh, I'm so excited. I loved it.
Visually stunning.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Amazing use of light and color, and this is gonna be so beautiful to see in theaters.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, okay, so there's a lot there. First of all, the very first thing I want to mention is the thing that I maybe liked the most about this trailer, and there's a lot I liked about it, was actually the score. Michael Giacchino's score in this is sounding really good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's black
does give me Darth Vader vibes, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing I wanted to mention. I'm really excited to hear Michael Giacchino's score for this. But yeah, so this is really our first proper look at Robert Pattinson in the cowl. We've seen like a screen test teaser of him, but this is the first time we're seeing him in any real footage. What do you think? I mean, does he look good to you?
I think he looks good. I like that they actually showed him with like makeup on his face, like without the mask, and are just leaning into the fact that he does put on like eyeliner.
Yeah.
I don't know, Robert Pattinson, he looks like a really good young Bruce Wayne. Kind of young, immature billionaire. And then, I mean, he looks really good in the suit too. Like I don't know what else to say. It's just really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it really reminds me so much of Batman Begins. And I think it is going to be a similar timeline because I believe the timeline for this is going to be like a Batman Year 2 story. So it definitely feels a lot like, as you said, this kind of younger, inexperienced, newer Batman who is just now kind of getting his first contact with the deep, dark, seedy underbelly of Gotham.
Yeah.
And dealing with his first supervillain. And so, definitely feels a lot like Batman Begins.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to start out with him, being used to just taking down kind of petty criminals, until he gets the attention of kind of a crime lord, almost like a kingpin type figure, which will be the Penguin.
Yeah.
He will be a minor villain. Batman takes him down and then gets the attention of the Riddler, who is going to be like a, Zodiac type of kind of like psychopath serial killer. Which will be really cool.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely very Seven-esque because we've seen in this and also in previous stuff that this Riddler, he's leaving like these clues, like these very enigmatic notes around these elaborate death scenarios that he's created. And so that's definitely very like Seven. And also it's good because I mean, in every iteration of movie Batmans that we've gotten, they never emphasize one of the absolute most important character attributes of Batman, and that he is the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
He's not just a rich ninja.
That was why, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight series did so well. Was because it did kind of, it wasn't a superhero movie. It was like a detective thriller.
Exactly. And and even in The Dark Knight, I don't think we're gonna. I think this will be the most we've gotten of that side of Batman, which I'm really looking forward to because it's just one of those things that I think that especially with you look at Keaton's Batman, who was great, but he wasn't really like a super detective in the Keaton movies, and Ben Affleck was never really he never really got that. And so
an alcoholic, but
he was just old and angry. But they never really play up that critical part of the Batman character in that he is the world's greatest detective. But I think we're really going to get that here, and that's very exciting. So, like you said, I think Robert Pattinson, he looks great. I think that Robert Pattinson, he has had quite the career revival in the last couple of years. Obviously, everybody knows him as the sparkling vampire from Twilight, but I mean, you look at stuff he's done recently, like The Lighthouse and Tenet. I mean, this is a different Robert Pattinson than we've seen ever. And now this is kind of his return to blockbuster movies. And I think he wears the suit really well. He looks great. He looks, he's young, he's inexperienced, but he looks lethal, which is important when you're facing down these kinds of enemies. So you already mentioned, let me find him here. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, which you would never know it. I mean, that's Colin Farrell under there. It's a total transformation. But I'm really excited to see the Penguin and just kind of being this kind of
Is that
enigmatic.
Andy Serkis as Alfred?
Yes, it is.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about the like, the Justice League and Batman v Superman had like a younger, kind of more suave Alfred.
Yeah.
That was a little weird to me. Andy Serkis is like, a little more built. He's not really like a slender, old Alfred. And this is young Batman. I get that, but like, I don't know. It just feels weird to have him as. Maybe it's also like the.
Yeah, well, what I'm hoping is, I hope they include in his backstory, because this is another thing that really doesn't get touched on in previous versions of Alfred in the movies, is that Alfred is like a badass in his own right. Like, back in the day, like he was like this like SAS like super spy.
Yeah, he was like a World War II hero, right? He was like
like World War II, Cold War type stuff. That's how we met Thomas Wayne, was because he was like this really cool spy essentially. So
and then decided to live out his retirement as a butler.
Yeah, I guess it was just good luck that this kid he's raising turned out to be Batman.
Yeah.
Also be a very dull job. But yeah, I think really the reason is just because he was ready to start a new life, and having a billionaire friend like Thomas Wayne, that's not a bad gig. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's one thing that I hope that they touch on, is that Alfred, he's not just a frail old guy who's good at dispensing wisdom.
Yeah.
Like those little lemon cough drops that you get at your grandparents' house. He's also like this former badass guy himself. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I think Andy Serkis, I mean, as we've said, directing maybe mediocre, but great actor, no doubt about that. And also, that's a good segue to something else I wanted to mention, which is the director of this movie and this new Batman trilogy they're doing is Matt Reeves, who did the excellent recent Planet of the Apes series. Which, I mean, that's a tough job to make the Planet of the Apes.
No wonder Andy Serkis is in this movie.
Exactly, because Andy Serkis played Caesar in those movies, and
I'm sure he played like half of the monkeys too. But
yeah, probably. But it's tough to make the Planet of the Apes series good and interesting in the 21st century, but he actually did it. Yeah. So, I'm very excited to see his take on the Batman. And I'm sure that's how Andy Serkis came on board as well. So also we should mention, if I can, so we have a new Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, she looks really good.
Yeah.
God, I love that. We just have the muzzle flash lighting up the hallway.
Yeah.
It's so good. This movie is gonna be so cool.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome, like a Daredevil hallway scene, but it's Batman. Oh
yeah,
man.
And it's in the dark. You only see it illuminated by, gun flashes.
Oh, that's
and like every time there's like one less gun, like one guy.
Yeah. Oh man. Also, what's his name? What's his name? I'm blanking on this actor's name. The new Commissioner Gordon. Oh, that's gonna eat away at me. We just saw him in No Time to Die as Felix Leiter.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. He did.
Also Westworld, the thing we talked about.
Yep, he was the voice of the Watcher.
Jeffrey Wright, voice of the Watcher. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
Love that.
Yeah. I mean, this cast
he'll make a
really
great Commissioner Gordon.
Oh yeah,
he's like a really good fit.
Yeah, this cast is really, really phenomenal, and I'm excited to see him as Commissioner Gordon.
I have a question for you. What year is this movie set in?
Good question. That is a good question. I don't. Well, actually, I think we may have a clue to that because if we see here, yeah, serial killer live streams. So this has to be recent. This has to be,
Like-
if not,
like early 2000s maybe, because it's it's supposed. I don't know. Well, I guess that's not supposed to be a young Justice League Batman.
no,
Like, it's
yeah,
not the
this
same.
is a new Batman that's separate, so it's not connected to the Snyderverse at all. And I mean, I'm just going based off of this because I mean, live streaming that's only been like not even the last 10 years. That's like the last 5-6 years. So this has to be recent. Probably present day. But if not, then close.
Interesting.
But yeah, just to clarify, this Batman is not going to grow up into Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah.
This is a whole new Batman in a different world.
I like that they made the Penguin like a Tony Soprano type character.
Oh yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
God, look, it's so good looking.
It really is
Like
stunning.
it's just, beautiful direction and lighting, just everything.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, great direction, and again, the music just ties it all together. It's so fantastic. And I will say this, speaking about connectivity, to the best of my understanding, this movie is not connected to any existing DC thing. But even though it probably won't happen, I kind of hope that there is one movie that this connects to, and that would be Joker from a couple years ago.
That would be cool.
Because we don't know who these guys are, but they look kind of like the Joker gang. And, obviously this is modern day. The Joker was set in the early 80s. So, this could be same world just 40 years later. But that was also...
the timing would work.
Well, yeah. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, he might not be around, or if he is, he's going to be like in his 60s or whatever, 60s, 70s. But the movement he inspired at the end of Joker could still be around, and that's who these guys are.
Yeah, and like we saw. Oh well, yeah, no, it couldn't be like 40 years later, but it could be like 20 years later.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd have live streaming at that point though.
Yeah, well, that's really the main reason why because there's nothing else that like gives us a sense of the time.
Yeah, there's no
other
like
than the live stream.
smartphones or anything.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I'm going off of is if there's live streaming going on, then that's got to be relatively recent.
I mean, is it like because it looks like a television live stream, not a internet live stream.
Well,
like,
it's serial. Yeah, well, I think the news is reporting on the serial killer live stream. So the news isn't live streaming events. This is reporting on what the Riddler is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm that probably won't be the case. That I'm sure Joker is its own thing and this is its own thing. But if those two could connect to each other, I think that would be pretty cool. And you wouldn't have to worry about the timing because they're set probably 40 years apart. So. Yeah, again, it feels very much like Seven, very much like Zodiac, like you said. I believe it's Paul Dano is playing the Riddler, who, when I think of Paul Dano, I think of when he played, I don't know if you ever saw Let There Be Blood, was a movie starring, what's his name? The great actor. I can't remember anybody's name today, sorry.
That's all right.
Let me see. Let there be blood. Oh, do I not have that? I know the name right. It's Let There Be Something. I'm sorry. Maybe I don't even have that correct. There Will Be Blood. Sorry, yes, There Will Be Blood. Which starred Daniel Day-Lewis. Did you ever see that movie?
I haven't personally, but I've heard of it.
Oh, really good movie. And I just when I think of Paul Dano, I think of his role in that movie where he plays like this priest guy, and he's kind of, he's very kind of unassuming and a little pathetic, but he's also kind of conniving. And and he ultimately gets it over Daniel Day-Lewis's character in the end. And I think that's perfect for this because, of course, the Riddler, he's not dangerous because he's, as good of a fighter as Batman, but he's dangerous because he is like this Joker-style psychopath who is creating these elaborate scenarios to kill people and then leaving these clues for the Batman to solve. And I just think that's, I think he's gonna play that type really well. This kind of he's, it's the best kind of bad guy is the kind of bad guy where you can tell they truly believe that they're in the right, that they're really doing the right thing. And I think that in this Riddler's mind, he's creating all these scenarios, leaving these clues to prove a point. He's trying to expose the corruption of Gotham City. That's why he's targeting the mayor and why he's targeting all these other people. And he's doing all of this stuff in public because he wants to show that no one, even the Batman, is above the dirt and stink of Gotham City.
Yeah.
You won't be long before you've nothing less. I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Love that.
Was that Poison Ivy? Are they suggesting that because of the red hair? I don't
Maybe.
know.
Yeah, I don't. Is that Zoe Kravitz? I can't tell. Maybe.
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you in
So good.
Okay, I mean,
it's cool to see the Batmobile as a muscle car instead of like super high tech.
Yeah, that's very new. Yeah. Oh man.
Just take a look at that drawing, that logo. That looks like a cell drawing. It looks like something that the Riddler sketched out versus like an actual logo he designed.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I know at this point we're just rewatching the trailer again because it's so good. But, yeah, I mean, there are so many movies coming out in 2022. It's actually stupid. But just off the top of my head, the Batman has to be in the top 5.
Oh,
I mean,
top one for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be right up there.
Not for just 2022, but like of all the stuff we've seen today at the DC FanDome, the Batman is, best thing we've seen.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely like I would really have to step back and think about what is the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because again, it's ridiculous how much stuff is coming out next year. But I can say without a doubt that this is going to be top 5, probably top 3. I am so hyped for this, and this trailer did exactly what I wanted it to do. And we don't have a long wait. It's just coming out in, I don't know if they say it here, but March 2nd, March 4th, 2022. So yeah, not far away at all.
Yeah.
And so as you said, I mean, I don't think there's any competition for what is the best thing we've seen here today. The Batman is the runaway winner, but putting the Batman to one side of everything else, what did you enjoy the most? What got you most excited?
That's a tough one. I'm really excited for Peacemaker, but I didn't really see much of the signature James Gunn touch from that trailer. I'm hoping there will be a lot of that in it. he loves to use colors in fun ways, and he just has a lot of cool stuff. I didn't really see that in the trailer itself, but if it's in there, it'll definitely be Peacemaker. If it's not, probably The Flash.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that it may be between Shazam: Fury of the Gods and The Flash. But because this is just a behind-the-scenes thing, and The Flash is an actual teaser, I'm gonna say The Flash. It's I think it's a Batman sweep for me because of course you've got the Batman #1 and you've got The Flash featuring previous Batman in it. So
that actually leads me to a question I wanted to ask earlier.
Yeah.
Which is, do you think Robert Pattinson has a decent chance at getting the title of Best Batman, usurping the throne?
Yeah, he definitely has a chance. I mean, he has as much chance as Christian
Adam
Bale
West.
Again, if you want a funny Batman, Adam West can't be beat. Yeah, I mean, when Michael Keaton started, I mean, that first Batman movie, there was, that was a huge risk. There was no guarantee that was going to be a huge hit. So yeah, I think so. I think he has at least as much chance as any of the other previous Batman staples. And by the end of his movie, because remember, it's not just this one, they're planning a new trilogy of Batman films. I think by the end of his trilogy, he absolutely could be. Yeah. I mean, he's really good, and from what we're seeing here, I have no reason to believe that he wouldn't hit it out of the park. So yeah, he absolutely could be. We just have to, see how the movie actually turns out. But yeah, the chance is 100% there.
And then follow up, who do you think is a worse Batman, Adam West or George Clooney?
Oh boy, no, I never even.
Yeah, you forgot about him.
I never even mentioned Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Obviously George Clooney. I mean, again, you're over here hating on Adam West. Adam West is not a bad Batman. He's just a kooky, funny '60s Batman, And so if you're in the mood for a comedic '60s Batman, then yeah, Adam West. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but if you're in the mood for bat nipples. And the bat credit card, and
yes,
so much good stuff. All the ice puns you can ask for from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If bat nipples is your thing, then yeah, George Clooney can't be beat. But yeah, I mean, if you held a gun to my head and said rank the Batman, I would go Christian Bale #1, followed by Keaton, followed by I would say. Okay, also Affleck #3, followed by Kilmer, followed by Adam West, followed by Clooney.
Yeah,
that would be my ranking. I would say, that's about right. Yeah, I mean, Kilmer and Adam West are maybe tied, but yeah, that would be my ranking. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, he could find himself top of that list as possible.
Yeah. And I think the last part of our agenda, how would you rank DC's, or how would you rate DC's FanDome event?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm glad you asked because I was about to ask you the same thing. I think it was very successful. I think, kind of like Netflix, they just were throwing everything they have at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I think it was very successful. After this FanDome event, I am definitely excited for what's coming up with DC. And again, just impressed by the scale of it. I mean, 4 movies next year alone is huge. 5 if you count Super Pets, I guess. Yeah. It's what they're attempting to do now is really pretty wild. So yeah, I would say it was hugely successful. Again, we're Marvel shills, but even we have to admit that DC has got some exciting stuff coming up. So, yeah, very successful. I mean, it's kind of hard to rate these big, content trailer release events, but I think that this is at least as successful as Netflix is to do, if not even more so. Yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. What do you think?
I guess the next question is, will it kind of become the new standard? for, releasing trailers. Because,
Ah.
I would only give this event like a 7 out of 10.
Mm.
I mean, the Batman was really, really cool, and we have a lot of great stuff coming in 2022, but it's a little, like, overwhelming. Because it's hard to, like, keep track of all of it. And like you said, when you have stuff that's coming out 2023, 2024, it's like, why are we learning about this now?
Yeah.
Because it's almost disappointing that I have to wait this long.
That's true, yeah. Like, everything we saw from To Doom was, like, no later than just generally 2022.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you on that, it is a lot to take in all at once. But, yeah, it's just, I think what FanDome has going for it is that this isn't even the first one. Unlike To Doom, where this year was the first year they did that, I think that they've been doing this for a while now. But this is definitely the biggest one they've done yet, I think. That's largely because, there haven't been Comic-Cons last year, this year. Studios are just sitting on all these trailers and all this behind-the-scenes stuff. And so instead of waiting for the next big event to come out, they can just do their own event and get the fans hyped that way. And they can control that end to end. So not the first FanDome and certainly not the last one, because this one was the best one yet, and I think one of the best that I could think of in terms of studios doing this kind of thing. Like, this feels on the scale of what Disney and Marvel did 2 years ago with their big Phase 4 reveal at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like, this feels right up there with that.
Yeah,
So,
this is like the Hall H equivalent of, or the Hall H digital equivalent.
Exactly.
In the age of COVID, where, you can't really have these big events, but, you can have these live stream.
Yeah,
release
exactly.
events. Yeah.
Exactly, and we should mention that Disney will have their chance to respond, because next month, I believe it's mid-November, they're going to have their big Disney Plus day. So we can expect a lot more trailers and stuff from them then.
Yeah, and expect another weird number of top list.
Yeah,
it's either going to be 7 or like 13 or something like that.
Or just something so completely unexpected, like 2. There'll be like 10 things that are worth talking about, but we'll only do 2 of them.
Yeah.
we'll do 4 episodes, 3 trailers each, and just infuriate people. But yeah, that was DC FanDome, a big success, headlined by the Batman trailer. So excited for that. And also, again, honorable mentions to Peacemaker and Shazam 2 and The Flash. Just in terms of DC League of Super Pets, just why? Just don't. Just either just bury that on HBO Max or just pretend like that never even happened. Still pay The Rock and Kevin Hart, but just don't. But yeah, I think that's it. Any last thoughts on FanDome?
No, I think you summed it up really well. Great event. Don't watch Super Pets.
Yes, yeah. Don't watch Super Pets. Go watch the Batman. Support this movie.
No, we got a lot of good stuff coming. 2023 is going to be a good year for the movies.
Oh my god, it's bonkers how much stuff is coming out. When we do, like how we did our list of most anticipated of 2021, like our most anticipated 2022 is going to be like a 3-hour video. We're gonna have to.
No.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's going to be crazy. But something to look forward to for all you out there. So thank you all so much for watching and joining us on another episode of Observation Reactions. And that's it. I think we will speak to you next time there's a new trailer to talk about.
Or 11.
Yeah, or 11, because it's only that. So, thank you very much. See you again then. Goodbye.